Good evening and welcome to the 2022 Windsor Shad Derby Gala for the introduction of our 56th class of Shad Derby candidates. Please join us in welcoming them now. The Shad Derby is a unique festival in Windsor that's run by volunteers through 15 different civic and service organizations and supported by local businesses since 1955. And this year marks its 65th celebration. Definitely something to be proud of. In 1954, John Cardillo started the first Shad Derby to raise awareness about the pollution in the Connecticut and Farmington rivers. In 1966, the first Shad Derby Queens competition was held, and since then has grown in popularity to the months-long festival that we celebrate now. Roger Olson, past chair, started the tradition of passing an antique derby hat from previous year's chair to the present, symbolically passing the responsibilities for the care and coordination of the festival. This year, where we would normally pass the hat, our chair does remain the same. It's Emily Thompson. Emily Thompson is a lifelong Windsor resident, having gone through the public school system, ultimately graduating from the Metropolitan Learning Center in Bloomfield. Her official duties started in 2018 as a member of the Queens Committee, and this is her third year as festival chair. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your 2022 Shad Derby Festival Chair, Miss Emily Thompson.
Thank you. I'm not only excited to be chairing the festival again, but I'm so happy that we can all get together and even be together to do this. I would like to start by welcoming members of the Board of Education, Town Council, parents, and distinguished guests. You can clap for that. We would also like to thank Kate Lang and Cindy Taplin. You ran, I don't know, they might be sitting at the table still. You ran into them when you checked in. They organized this entire event. They're the ones you sent your RSVPs to, and Kate did all the decorating. There's Kate right there. Where's Cindy? She's still at the table? She's not coming back? Okay. Cindy doesn't like this. And to Kate Lang and Andy Lang for donating the flower arrangements tonight. They're beautiful. And we couldn't do any of this without the assistance of the Queens Committee, so it's my pleasure to introduce them to you. Erica Fangiulo, who you just heard from. Amanda Waltman, Chelsea Morgan, and Annalise Ellerveld, sitting right in the front row. At this time, we would like to recognize our past Derby chairs that are here with us this evening. They're probably in the back room. We can clap for them too. They'll see us. They'll move on a video. We would like to recognize this year's Shad Derby committee chairs, whose hard work and tremendous civic pride facilitate the organization of this festival. And of course, the Shad Derby Festival is not possible without our candidate sponsors. This year we have Hairdresser on Fire, Curry Chiropractic, Rem Sales, Dr. Roberta Garcelle, Dom's Broad Street Eatery, Wilson Pizza, Hastings Tobacco, Trendsetter Salon, The Bean at 226, Union Street Tavern, Rice Hardware, Dr. Robert Ganji, and Tunxus Grill. We would like to recognize the Shadfest Bureau, who represents the civic organizations that do so much for this community. The Windsor Junior Women's Club, the Windsor Jaycees, the Windsor Lions, the Windsor Masons, Windsor Civitan, Windsor Exchange Club, Windsor Women's Club, Kiwanis, Windsor Rod and Gun, Windsor Historical Society, Win TV, Town of Windsor Recreation Department, the Rotary Club, Chamber of Commerce, and the Windsor Art Center. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Neil Sashdev, the Judges Chair for the third year in a row, taking a break in 2021. Neil is the president of the Windsor Civitan Club and governor for the New England District. He's the president of the Windsor Art Center, and he's a 3-time past Shad Derby Festival co-chair, 4-time past committee treasurer, and he is happy to be the Judges Chair for his third year in a row.
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations, candidates. Tonight is the first of 3 judging events for the 2022 Windsor Shad Derby candidates. The gala comprises 15% of their overall score. Private interviews with our judges comprise 60%, and finally the coronation ball represents 25% of their final score. Tonight, candidates will be judged on their poise, appearance, and presentation of their introduction speech. Candidates are also competing for 2 community service awards. The first, the Mary Ellen Messina Community Service Award, is given to a candidate who exemplifies strong community service. It is given in honor of the memory of Windsor Junior Women's Club past president Mary Ellen Messina, who was very active and dedicated to our community. This award will be presented by the Windsor Junior Women's Club at our coronation ball on May 7th. The Vincent Scully Community Service Award is named after longtime and beloved Windsor resident, business owner, past festival chair, and 30-year sponsor of Shad Derby candidates. This award would be presented by the festival chair at the coronation ball to the candidate who obtains the largest number of participants for the Shad Derby Family Bowling fundraiser on Sunday, April 3rd at Bradley Bowl, which is, I guess, now spare time. It is my pleasure to introduce will be heard. It is my sincere pleasure to introduce our judges and our auditor, Timothy Carmen. Dr. Jessica Coletta hails from Western Massachusetts originally. She received her undergraduate interdisciplinary degree in biopsychology from Bates College in Lewiston, Maine, and after completing 3 years of scientific research at the University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, she then went on to pursue her veterinary doctorate at UPenn School of Veterinary Medicine. After finishing school, she was happy to move back to New England and practice in Glastonbury, Connecticut for 12 years. She was so excited to be at River Valley Animal Center, such a progressive veterinary hospital in the town and community where she currently resides of Suffield, Connecticut. Such a progressive veterinary hospital. Her husband, Jason, of 20 years, her daughters, Emily and Allison, Basset mix Molly Moo, Beagle puppy Archer, and her tuxedo kitty Milo all reside with her in town. Dr. Coletta has always had a strong love of animals and medicine. General practice has been a great fit for her in terms of the ideal mix of animals and routine, getting to intimately know her patients and clients while helping out with the furry members of the family is part of the practice that she enjoys the most. Thank you, Dr. Coletta. Dr. Pooja Palaksha was born in Mumbai, India. She completed her dental school in India in 2011. After moving to the United States, she earned her master's degree in public health at the University of Texas in Houston, and earned her her degree in dental medicine from Boston University in 2017. After experiencing living in different cities, she finally settled in Hamden, Connecticut. Being very passionate about dentistry, she continually strives to do the best she can for patients. Quote, "I love taking my time with my patients and making sure they always feel at ease." In her free time, Dr. Palaksha loves traveling and cooking different cuisines. She finds solace in reading many books and dreams to travel the world. Thank you, Dr. Palaksha. And finally, last but not least, Gregory Grande has been a Connecticut resident for 20 years, having moved here from Rhode Island in 2000. He is a resident of Woodstock, Connecticut with his partner Sue, but calls the Berkshires of Massachusetts, and in particular Williamstown, his hometown. Greg has spent over 22 years at Merrill Lynch in Hartford, Connecticut as a vice president and senior financial advisor. He works with families, businesses, and nonprofit foundations in establishing financial strategies relevant to their unique situations. Greg has a BA from the University of Massachusetts at Amherst in French, including time spent at the Sorbonne in Paris. Greg has an MBA from Thunderbird School of Management as well, and he has 3 grown children, aged 27, 23, and 20. Young ladies not much older than you this evening. His interests include following economic and political trends, period drama, skiing, cycling, and the restoration of classic boats over to electric drive. So with that being said, I'm happy to introduce our Judges Chair, Timothy Carmen. Thank you, Greg. Sure.
So they can hear.
Of course. Thank you. I guess in the interim, can we have another round of applause for our judges this evening? They're great judges. Thank you so much. We very much appreciate you being here. Thank you. No problem.
Oh gosh, I'm fired.
I held on to this for a short period of time, but I'm very happy to pass it on to Emily. But while I have it. Thank you. So our Judges Chair, Timothy Carmen, was born and raised in Windsor, Connecticut. Is that a little better? He attended Loomis Chaffee in Windsor, graduating the class of 1999. He then went on to the University of Richmond in Richmond, Virginia, graduating with a BS in accounting and a BA in religion. Soon after college, he became a CPA in the state of Connecticut. Tim started his career with Deloitte in Hartford as an auditor and later moved to MassMutual, where he spent over 15 years primarily focused on risk and control management. Currently, Tim is the Managing Director of Risk Management at Moody's Corporation in New York. In 2004, Tim moved to South Windsor after marrying his wife, Kristen, who he met in college. Tim and Kristen have 3 children, Drew, 13, Emily, 11, and Luke, 8, who keeps them very busy with Boy Scouts, soccer, and field hockey, things that I'm sure every parent in this room is very familiar with. Drums and many other school activities and church activities take up a lot of his time. Tim also anticipates continuing his new COVID hobby of gardening this year as the weather warms. He has been our auditor here since 2007, so may we get a very resounding applause for Mr. Timothy Carmen. Now with that, it's my pleasure to turn things back over to Erica to let the candidates get going with their speeches. Thank you, everyone.
We're gonna move this. We're gonna make it. Nobody can touch this and it's gonna fall off. All right. Let's see where we are on the program. All right, it is now time for the reason why we're here is to introduce the girls and let them introduce themselves to you. So with that being said, the first one up, our first candidate is Maria Inyakin, Miss Dom's Broad Street Eatery.
Good evening, everyone. We all have unique experiences. Tonight, I want to share mine that has had a huge impact on the person I am. That experience has been watching my younger brother fight for his life. My brother Alex has autism and tuberous sclerosis, a brain disorder. When I was 4, he had a brain resection because he'd have up to 80 seizures a day. From then on, nothing was the norm for my family. I couldn't get the new things I wanted because his expensive medication came first. My family didn't go on vacations or to parties because Alex would get overwhelmed, and I've always lived with the thought that anything could happen to him. But growing up this way has taught me so much. I've learned to persevere through anything, and that things don't matter as much as people. I don't let my struggles define me, just like my brother has not let his define him. I am participating in this event for me, but also for my brother, who will not have the same opportunities. I want him to experience an event he'll remember forever. I'm honored to have my brother as my escort for the coronation ball. A special thanks to my sponsor, Dom's Broad Street Eatery, and thank you.
Our next candidate, Taylor Filatico, Miss Trendsetters.
Good evening. Tonight I pose a question. What characterizes a leader? In an individualist society, there's this constant drive to be unique, to be different, to influence and set an example. But can everyone do that effectively? With confidence, I recognize my striking ability to both advocate and lead holistically, in sports, in school, and on my time on the Board of Education as a student rep. However, true leaders act regardless of titles. This winter, I proudly petitioned against having midterms, not under a program nor a club, but as a student with concern. Despite having them, I successfully decreased the exam's worth from 20 to 10% on student semester 1 grades. Motivated by a student body in need, meeting with vice principals, and crafting emails directly to our superintendent with peer input, I advocate effectively and selflessly. To trendsetters, thank you for your sponsorship and continued support. And to everyone else, enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Please welcome our next candidate, Amelia Levesque, Miss Tungus Grill.
Good evening. On the last day of second grade, I wrote a letter to my future self, and I said that I want to be a nurse when I grow up. I looked forward to when my mom would come home from work at the hospital because she always had the best stories to tell me. All of these stories had one thing in common. The patients were better when she left the room than when she first walked in. My mom was the first thing that inspired me to become a nurse, but I also wanted to explore the career for myself. Last summer, I started to volunteer at a nursing home, and I met a lot of amazing people. Whether it was a physical injury, mental health, or just pure loneliness, all of these people were struggling in some way. For the hour or two that I talked to them, I could see that they were able to escape this pain and just enjoy a simple conversation with a new face. Many times, these men and women have told me that my conversation has been the highlight of their day. I know that if I'm able to have as much of an impact from just a simple conversation, I know that I'm able to have even more of an impact as a nurse. Nursing will be a challenging job to have, but I'm ready for that challenge as long as I know that I'm helping someone in one way or another. I would like to sincerely thank my sponsor, Tungus Grill, for this amazing opportunity, and I hope you all have an amazing rest of your night.
Please welcome our next candidate, Brooklyn Walker, Miss The Bean at 226.
Good evening. When asked the question, what makes me unique among the candidates, I think of the kinks and curves and curls that define my melanated skin, or my southern charm. Could it be my drive to try new things like this pageant, or my entrepreneurship skills that help my candle business blossom? There are many different aspects of my life that make me a unique individual. When I first moved to Windsor in the 5th grade, everything in me wanted to be back home in Georgia. I was put in a new environment and faced many challenges. Within my 7 years in Windsor, I have learned and grown beyond life. I am a confident captain for the Windsor High School cheerleading team and a proud member of the National Honor Society. An aspiring entrepreneur and a fearless leader. Using the experiences and lessons that I learned growing up in 2 different environments, that makes me uniquely me. But I do miss the Southern chicken wings. Thank you to my sponsor, Mel from The Bean, and thank you to everyone being here. Enjoy your evening.
Please welcome our next candidate, Ava Koistinen, Miss REM Sales.
Good evening, everyone. 1983 was the most important year of my life. Although many of you, including myself, weren't alive at the time, the decision to begin testing babies for hypothyroidism that year fully altered my future. Being born with congenital hypothyroidism, a condition that has the ability to severely hinder brain development, has no true effect on my day-to-day life. However, I often disregard the reality that this diagnosis could have put me in a completely different place than where I am now. Playing lacrosse, completing my academics at an advanced level, creating deep relationships with my teammates and friends. These are all details which have constructed and contributed to the person I am today. It wasn't until recently that I understood that if I wasn't treated for my condition, I could not do the things I love. The 17 years I've been alive, I have grown a newfound appreciation for the moments that I have been blessed to experience thus far. Being here with all of you tonight alone has made me value the path my life has taken enormously. Thank you everyone, especially my sponsor, REM Sales, for this opportunity. Thank you.
Please welcome our next candidate, Destiny Rowland, Miss Wilson Pizza.
Good evening to you all. When you look at me, what do you see? Do you see a girl who doesn't fit the usual beauty standards, or do you see a strong, beautiful young lady? I honestly see both. Throughout my high school years, I have faced several diversities, from being bullied for not looking like the typical petite high school girl, to being depressed about losing the two closest people to me when my two brothers passed away within 2 years of each other. In these past couple years, I've gone through many emotions, more than you can think of, from just being angry at the world to just wanting to be alone and sad. Before this, I never knew what depression was, or better yet, what it looked like. I've always thought that when you're sad, and when you're happy, you're happy. Yet, that's not the case for me, because when I'm happy and I have a smile on my face, I'm still sad. Yet, when I'm happy, I'm just pretending. Or, better yet, when I'm sad, I'm not really. So, when you look at me, you usually see a happy and joyful person. But I'm also struggling with depression, and that's okay. I am more than a word or a diagnosis. I am a strong, intelligent, and a beautiful individual. I want to give a huge thank you for you guys all coming out, and a special thanks to my sponsor, Wilson Pizza House.
Please welcome our next candidate, Miranda Raymond, Mr. Dr. Ganji, and Anu.
Good evening. We are here this evening with a lineup of 13 young and diverse young ladies. Notably myself, a mastermind of many accomplishments. As you can tell, I look forward to being in the public eye of communications. I am the daily news anchor for Windsor's Warrior Productions, The Dub Hub. I bring all the important updates on sports, news, and events. I also do the same, taking pictures and videos for the yearbook. I like to find and record fine details because criminology is my second major. But wait, look over here. Brown curly hair, pink lipstick, a fingerprint? Did you say she drove off in a blue car? This scene does look suspicious. You want to know where I stand in this lineup? You will tune into the coronation ball to find out who will be the next 2022 Shad Derby Queen and her court. I would also like to give a special thanks to my confident smile to Dr. Ganji and Dr. Anu. This is Miranda Raymond reporting to you live on the scene. Until next time, back over to you, Miss Vanjulo.
Please welcome our next contestant. We had a joke about calling him contestant. Next candidate, Amanda Romero, Miss Rice Hardware.
Good evening, everyone. I've lived in Windsor for all 17 years of my life. These years have been filled with experiences that have molded me into the person that I am today. Through being a part of various sports teams, activities, and programs, I've witnessed firsthand what makes us Windsor. Windsor's community, support, and love. These characteristics have contributed to who I am and who I want to be. I've strongly developed my compassion and love for others. Throughout my life, I've been told, and I know, that when I love someone, I love hard. I will put all my effort and love into serving and helping others. These qualities will be imperative as I embark on my journey to serve in the medical field. I'm so proud to call Windsor my home. Wherever life takes me, I know I will serve others the way that Windsor has served me. My commitment to people comes from our strong community of diverse families united for the benefit of all. I'd like to end by giving a very special thank you to my sponsor, Rice Hardware.
Our next candidate, Adriana Niesa Sanchez, Miss Hairdresser on Fire.
Good evening. Some of you may know me as Windsor High School's diver, but what you might not know is my love for aquaponics. Aquaponics is where fish and plants cooperate together, creating an environmentally friendly, self-sustaining system. The plants are grown in the absence of soil, and they receive their nutrients from the fish. I first learned this last year in AP Environmental Science when I was tasked with researching aquaponics. The more I learned, the more I wanted to do it for myself, resulting in months of trial and error before creating the fully functioning system that I have now. This project deepened my love for science, which will be a STEM major this upcoming fall. Creating and maintaining this delicate balance between species has helped me think outside of the box to solve issues as well as other important skills. I continue to use these skills every day during school, work, and sports, better prepare me for what life will bring. I want to give a special thanks to my sponsor, Hairdresser on Fire, and to all of you for coming out. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Please welcome our next candidate, Emma Butterick, Miss Dr. Garceau.
Good evening. When I was 8, my mom asked me, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I said, "I want to stay 8." When I found out that that wasn't a plausible career plan, I had my heart set on becoming a doctor. And then when I was 9, an unexpected event left me going in and out of the hospital, which was terrifying for me as a little kid. But what really helped me were the kind female doctors who helped me on my journey there. Now that event is what really inspired me to go into the STEM field. I am grateful to have grown up in a time where I see myself represented in my interests. Those strong female doctors, nurses, and teachers who inspired me to pursue a career I want regardless of what other people think. And confidence was hard for me to find, but once I did, I never let it go. Because I know that one day I can inspire little girls to go into the STEM career the same way those amazing women inspired me. So thank you so much to Dr. Garceau for being my sponsor, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.
Please welcome our next candidate, Shannon Douglas, Miss Union Street Tavern.
Good evening, everyone. Throughout my life, I've had multiple different jobs, working in a tobacco field, scooping ice cream by the beach, and hosting in an Italian restaurant. With all of these jobs, my hard work allowed me to receive promotions, raises, and offers to come back in the future. But this past summer, I decided to be my own boss. I started a clothing business on Etsy. Investing in this was scary to me because I could lose a lot of the little money I had, but I took the risk and it paid off. In several months, I surpassed 160 sales and $8,000 in revenue, selling in 36 different states and 5 countries. Growing my business has allowed me to discover my passion for data analytics and environmental sustainability. As someone who loves nature and the outdoors, I become very conscious of my carbon footprint, which I'm constantly working to reduce. In the future, I plan to find ways to help save our Earth by enabling businesses to discover and implement policies that will slow the rate of climate change. I know that my hard work and passion for what I do is the key to success in my life, and I'm excited for the possibilities of what I can accomplish in my future. Thank you, Union Street Tavern, for sponsoring me, and thank you all for listening. Have a great evening.
Please welcome our next candidate, Abby Hastings, Miss Tobacco Hastings Tobacco.
Hello and good evening. Considering my sponsor is my family business, my family is very important to me and a big part of who I am. My younger brother Thomas was diagnosed with both congenital scoliosis and Duchenne muscular dystrophy by his first birthday. He has had many back surgeries, but struggles more with Duchenne as it is a fatal muscle weakening disease. As a teenager, Thomas now depends on a wheelchair. I saw Thomas lose the ability to walk, climb stairs, and play outside. My parents and I need to help him with everything. Although Thomas is my younger brother, I look up to him. He reminds me to work towards my future while still remembering to live in the moment. Making every day count is not a cliche to me. Out of respect to Thomas and others struggling with significant challenges, it is my ultimate goal. A special thanks to my sponsor, Hastings Tobacco, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
And our last candidate this evening, Ainsley Sasportis, Miss Curry Chiropractic.
Good evening. In 2017, I got up on the blocks at some practice to race, something I'd done hundreds of times before. When I dove in, my goggles slipped, and my competitive nature wouldn't let me stop to pick them up. As I went to go do my flip turn, I hit my head on the wall, hard. I'd given myself my first major concussion. It completely changed my life. That concussion and the others that followed altered my ability to learn. I can't focus well, and my processing speed is much slower. Since I was in preschool, I'd wanted to be a veterinarian, but the concussions caused my ability to do high-level maths and sciences to decline. During my recovery, I had joined Windsor Youth Theater and found a new team. In high school, an art teacher encouraged me to enroll in AP Art, where I've been able to express my artistic abilities through an art portfolio on mental illness. I plan to become an expressive arts therapist where I can use my talents to help others. I found a new passion because of these concussions, and I'm thankful for this path, even though it wasn't what I had planned. I would like to thank my sponsor, Curry Chiropractic, for helping me recover from my concussions, and have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Can we please have another round of applause for these wonderful young ladies? And definitely, so impressive. I'm really looking forward for everybody to get to see how unique each one of these girls are and how much they have to offer the community, and just moving forward, it's going to be awesome. So make sure to follow the Shad Derby on Facebook if you don't already for an updated list of all of our events this year. And I want to thank all of you for coming out and being part of this tradition. This is a wonderful festival, and for joining us tonight. We're very glad to have it back after a year hiatus. That concludes this evening. We're just going to ask the girls to stay here for some pictures, judges stay here for some pictures, and Queen's Committee stay here for some pictures. Enjoy. Thank you, Tavern at Keney Park. You guys were awesome and definitely accommodating, and the food was very good.